So I thought, well, okay, I've got to honor this. So I said, so the first tweet, I did the Twitter search to see how far it went. The first tweet was transferred around to about 500 or 600 people. And it's, depending on who you go through, it went out to about 2,000 different people saw it. So I went back on and I said, we're going to honor the price. And that was sent out to 7,000 people. And the moral of that story is that this is the way I see social media in terms of our business. Unlike the expensive Times columnist or any of the other traditional medias, which still have a role, you don't get the opportunity for a one-on-one conversation. So part of our culture as a company was defined in that tweet that I missed the word off. Another part of our culture was defined in the tweet that I said, we'll honor the price. So it's a way to build your company's culture 120 characters at a time. And I say 120 characters because I learned this from Janice. It's 120 characters, you're more likely to get retweeted. So this is a one-on-one conversation because every one of our companies has a personality. You may be the personality, but the company itself has a personality. And this is the best way to convey that personality. I get the newspaper every morning, and I see companies throwing up on me every time I turn the page. And it's a big deal about this and a big deal about that and what have you. And I don't get really that much out of it. But I do get, go down to Rocky Mountain Soap Company. I know the people behind them. Because here's the other thing that I've learned is, in our industry, here on Vancouver Island, you'd only notice this if you lived on the mainland. And as I started here as a sales rep, and then I was promoted over to Vancouver. And one of the things I recognized is that people in Vancouver will buy from companies or portfolios, whereas people here in Vancouver Island buy from people. So if there's one thing I would say to everybody who has a business, use social media, but don't be afraid to convey your personality. That means you are going to make mistakes, but do it. Make those mistakes. Be open to people, because otherwise it's just it's the same thing as the Times columns. The other value to it is that you need to convey your value very, very clearly. So how many people take advantage of the tweet deals that I send out? It's pretty simple to convey the value of a message. Here's a $15 bottle of wine. First 50 people who respond to this are going to get it for $6. That's a very simple message. So, and everybody, of course, Grenache. Traveling through France and Spain, a little bit of wine there, I imagine. Everybody can really easily sense the value of that deal. So that would be the second point I would say is, make sure your message is very easily understood as to what the value is. So write it out 100 times if you have to. And you've got to get it nailed down to people understanding it's product A for price B, and there's an automatic value to it. So I'm also happy to chat, because I'm sure I'm at 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Yeah, it's
they can check one particular item. It didn't slash like 30% off, 40% off.
Nope.
When the retailers went crazy before Christmas, they would take one item and would put it on sale for X number of hours.
That's exactly what it is. It's product specific, and it is time sensitive, and there's a quantity.
And you mean the company personality, or are you saying company profile? Are you using those synonymously, or
yeah, I think. No, I think the company is whoever is speaking on behalf of the company. Every company has a personality.
Along with profile.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a perfect opportunity to convey your culture. Whatever that. If you're a company of 10 million, or Starbucks has a personality. They've got to convey that through social media. If you're a one-person company, it's a lot easier to do. That's right. So, I think my total now is 5,700 tweets. The way I look at it is I've had over 5,000 opportunities to convey our culture, or our personality, to the people that follow me. Yeah, so I think that's really key, is that you got to convey your personality. And part of that is, of course, making mistakes.
What makes you
What's that?
It makes you more human, it relates you more.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
In fact, sometimes when you do that, the sales presentation, you do that, it makes you look like you're part of the
Yeah.
program instead of
Yeah,
a
exactly.
different echelon. People using that.
Exactly. I'm trying to get Toyota to pay me a lot of money to fix the problems. So far they haven't. That's right, that's all.
Our cars stop.
Thank you, Rod. I think what I'd like to do is to try and stick to our schedule here and to leave questions from the floor for the end of the meeting, and perhaps for people who are asking questions to stand up, because I think it's going to be difficult since you're all facing this way. So let's carry on, and if we can save our questions till the end, that would be great. So Scott?
Yeah, so Rocky Mountain Soap has, pardon?
In English.
Rocky Mountain Soap has 9 stores in Western Canada, and they're primarily known as an Alberta-based company. Consistently the last 7 years, they've been in the top 50 fastest growing companies in Alberta. So when we had a chance to come out to Victoria, they said to my wife, who was the bachelor manager at the time, go anywhere in Canada and work out the franchise model for us. Royalty-free, franchise fee-free, just do it for us and get back to us. And she said to me, where do you want to move? And I said, hello, Vancouver Island. So here we are. The thing that we didn't realize at the time, concurrently they built corporate stores in Vancouver and Winnipeg. And what happened was we didn't realize that nobody cared about Rocky Mountain Soap in British Columbia. They didn't know the brand. They didn't know it was Canadian. They didn't know it was handmade. It had no value to their daily lives. So, you know, we got out here the fall of 2007 and 2008. We sat behind the cash register waiting for people to come in because we're Rocky Mountain Soap. And we're natural, not like, you know, those other companies. And, you know, Scott Garman came maybe, but that was about it. And so our numbers were looking bad. The Winnipeg numbers were looking worse, and the Vancouver numbers were absolutely disastrous. And those stores being corporate, you know, head office absorbs those costs. This being a franchise, I'm absorbing the costs. So I'm thinking, what can we do? So corporate said, hire a PR agency. We'll pay half the cost. Oh, you're going to pay that? That's great. So we did, and first meeting, that was Artemis Branding, by the way. Maggie's not here tonight, but she worked out a PR plan for us. And she said, what are you doing in social media? And I said, social what? And she says, social media. Don't you know social media? And I go, no. Tell me what it is. Well, you know Facebook. Yeah, my nieces are on Facebook. You know Twitter? No, never heard of it. And this was less than a year ago. We were having this conversation. So, long and short of it, I said, okay, yeah, I'll get on it. Well, I didn't get on it until April 29th and signed up for Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, Flickr, you know, them all. And nothing happened. I thought to myself, yeah, social media. And it wasn't until, you know, I was faithfully tweeting out, and I kept replying to @LaCoupe, and she never followed me back. And I'm thinking, you know, Victoria's kind of snooty. And then Chris Burge, we were exhibiting at the Organic Island Festival, and he dropped by the booth and talked to my wife, and he started blogging. And then we started retweeting the blog, and I mean literally, in a week, we got more people following us than in the preceding since April 29th, all the way up to July 4th or 5th. And it just exploded from there. And to make a real long story short, in the Rocky Mountain Soap group, we were the only store last year that posted a year-on-year increase. And I think our year-on-year increase was 33%.